About this time every year, I start thinking about how busy the rest of the year will be. So today, I'm turning my workbench into a cutting table and ironing station. This beautiful fat quarter bunch from the Singer Featherweight Shop has really inspired me. I just love the colors in it. They're so Christmassy to me, the reds, the greens, the pinks. So while it's gray and cold and rainy outside, I'm going to make some hostess gifts that I can bring to upcoming parties and gatherings. I just don't like showing up empty-handed, and it will be nice to have these all ready to go. So I'm going to get started, and I'm going to use this beautiful featherweight I just finished restoring. And this part always feels like unwrapping a gift to me. I love watching all the fabrics tumble down and seeing how they coordinated so many beautiful matching patterns. And instantly I am inspired to make something. In this case, I am going to make hot pads or potholders. I find they are a great gift to take to a hostess. If I have a few of these in reserve, I'm good to go and I don't have to worry about hurrying and scurrying to make something at the last minute. Even the little string that held all of the fabric together, I'm going to use that as part of my hot pad, and you'll see what I mean. But first, I need to iron every single piece before I start cutting things out. Tell me, do you feel the same as I do every year at this time? There are so many outside influences that are trying to convince us to spend and do, and the older I get, the more I am happy and ready to just let all of that go and enjoy the true joy and peace this season was really meant to bring us. What do you do to keep yourself from getting caught up in all the hustle bustle and trying to keep up with the Joneses? I'd really like to know. Usually I just start out by drawing out my design and figuring out my measurements for all of my cuts of fabric. And on this one, you will see I got one of them wrong, but I fixed it. It wasn't a big deal at all. Then I like to go through the fabrics and figure out which colors, which pieces I want to use for my design. This is so simple. If you want the measurements I ended up using, let me know, and I'll leave them in the comments below somewhere. It's really fun to go through the fabrics and match things, and I always find myself not wanting to use my favorite fabric out of the bunch, but I actually ended up using it for a very small part of this project, so I still have plenty left. Sometimes I use my rotary cutter, and other times I use my fabric marking pen to trace out the pieces I need to cut. Mostly that is because my rotary cutter is very, very old and it just doesn't like me, I don't think. I also am using these new scissors that I have from Guggenheim. I purchased them, and I have to say, I love them. I got the scissors and the snips, and they are just amazing scissors, and I can see them being at my sewing station for years and years to come. Once I figure out exactly what fabrics I'm using, I go ahead and I cut out everything I need to make the hot pads. And I started out just planning to make 2, but by the end of this video, I ended up making 4 because it just started to go so quickly for me. Here you can see just how sweet this one will turn out when it's finished. This design is the one where I made a mistake, and I've made it before, so I should have just looked at my notes, but I actually needed 7 fabrics that complemented the main fabric, and I only cut 5. So later I go back and I add 2 more, and then I also have to make the strip that's on the right a little bit wider. I don't know what I was thinking. I was probably just too excited to get started sewing. Does anyone else take this approach? No plan, just kind of shooting from the hip? I can't be the only one. It all worked out in the end. So now I'm going to thread up this beautiful featherweight. I just love how she sounds. You will get to hear a little bit of her. Also, the thread that I'm using, I'm going to use the same color to stitch the pieces together, as well as do the top stitching on the final hot pad at the end. You'll see how it looks. I was going to use red, but I decided I didn't like the red I had for the top stitching, so I just went with this gold color and it really turned out cute. I just want to say that if you're like me and you tend to get really overwhelmed every year through this season, just take a break, take a breath. Remember what's really important. Remember the people that you love and the reason why we have this season at all in the first place. Let that be what centers you and brings you your joy, and nothing else really matters. This is the point where I pretty much realize I had my measurements wrong. So that little skinny piece of fabric you see, I end up replacing it with a wider one and my 2 extra colors that I needed there on the bottom, and then I get it together. And I'm just cutting out the back side for the hot pad. These squares are coming out to be 7.5 inches before they're sewn. So the finished product is around 7 inches square. For the one that has the strips of fabric going down one side, that you actually have to trim a little bit off the top and the bottom to get the right size square. But I knew that ahead of time, not a big deal. Now I'm cutting out 2 layers of all cotton batting, and I'm not leaving a bunch of extra around the edges like I would with a quilt, mainly just because I've done these so many times before. I know that I can keep the batting all the way to the edge and I don't have to have any extra to trim away later. So the batting goes on the bottom, then the front side of the hot pad facing towards you, right side up, the back side of the hot pad facing right side down. Then I'm going to take that little tape that I saved from the fabric bunch and I'm cutting it, and I'm going to use that to make the loops. Now, it had been a while since I had done this, and I installed the loops wrong on the first 2. And later on, I will show you how to correctly install them. And I go back and fix them at the end on the first 2 so they look right. But yes, I did it wrong. Now I am sewing 1/4 inch roughly around the outside edge of my little sandwich here, and I'm making sure to leave an opening about 2 inches or so at one end. Normally I choose the bottom just so I can flip it all right side out. I'm so excited to turn these right side out so I can see what they look like that I forget to trim the corners before I flip them. So the first one I turned and I had to kind of pull the corners out and trim them, but the second one I did remember to trim the corners first. And here they are, they're all flipped out. They look so cute. They still need the top stitching, and I'm going to hand sew the bottoms closed, but I'm really happy with the progress. And it was getting late enough, it was time to go spend some time with the family, so I decided to finish this project the next day. And since I woke up full of energy, I went ahead and cut out 2 more. And now I'm just showing you kind of how to properly put those little loops on. Instead of just folding them, you actually kind of flip the one end before you pin it to the hot pad, and it makes a nice little loop. Once they're all stitched together, they're flipped to the right side, I go ahead and give them a good press before I start doing the quilting on the top. After I hand sew the opening on the bottoms closed, I go ahead and stitch all around the edges about 1/4 inch. I'm just eyeballing it at this point. And then I decide how I want to quilt the rest of the hot pad. I don't want to do a lot of quilting, just enough to kind of hold everything in the middle together and make it look pretty. So there they are, the finished hot pads. I think they turned out really cute. What do you think? The Featherweight was a joy to sew on, and the Guggenheim scissors and snips, I love them. I was not a snips person up until this project, and that is all I'll use now for my thread tails. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. I wish you a lot of peace in the coming season, and I'll see you again really soon. Bye.